Welcome to our US Briefing Show. Today, we're diving into some exciting and critical updates from around the globe. First up, China might be changing its long-held nuclear stance. While publicly promoting restraint, evidence suggests China is quietly developing infrastructure that could support a more aggressive nuclear launch policy, which could shake up global security. Next, despite the US threatening tariffs on Russian goods, China is still heavily buying Russian oil, maintaining strong energy ties. Both countries are using their own currencies to dodge sanctions, and experts believe this energy partnership will continue to thrive, influencing global markets. Finally, a new Chinese stealth aircraft has been spotted, sparking debates over whether it's a new piloted fighter or an autonomous drone. This could signal China's rapid advancements in sixth-generation fighter tech, intensifying international competition in the skies. Please continue to watch for more detailed insights and updates. Foreign policy reports that China has traditionally maintained a relaxed nuclear posture, emphasizing a no-first-use policy and keeping nuclear weapons on low alert. However, recent developments suggest that China may be quietly shifting toward adopting launch under attack (LUA), a Cold War-era policy allowing rapid nuclear retaliation based on early warning data. This potential shift is evidenced by China's expansion of early warning systems, including infrared satellites and ground radars, and the increasing endorsement of LUA concepts in military writings. While LUA could bolster deterrence, it also introduces grave risks of accidental escalation, false alarms, and diminished political control, especially given China's geographic proximity to U.S. targets and the complexities of modern missile technology. Experts warn that moving toward LUA could inadvertently lead China into nuclear warfighting, undermining strategic stability, and suggest that Beijing should instead focus on safeguards and strategic restraint to prevent such dangerous outcomes. South China Morning Post highlights China's resilient energy relationship with Russia amid U.S. threats of tariffs and sanctions. Despite President Trump's warnings to impose tariffs on countries importing Russian oil, China's strategic need for stable energy supplies ensures that Russian oil imports will likely continue long-term. China's reliance on Russia is underscored by its record-high imports and the ability to settle transactions in their own currencies, bypassing U.S. secondary sanctions. Although recent Chinese customs data indicates a slowdown in Russian oil imports, down 10.9% in the first half of the year, analysts believe that China's energy cooperation with Russia remains vital, especially as both nations diversify their trade and payment methods. Meanwhile, U.S. sanctions are seen as unlikely to significantly disrupt China-Russia energy ties, which are reinforced by extensive upstream and processing cooperation, making their relationship resilient against external pressures. South China Morning Post reports that China has circulated images of a new stealth aircraft, sparking debate over whether it is a sixth-generation fighter or a loyal wingman drone. The sleek, smaller aircraft exhibits design features suggesting higher speed capabilities and possibly autonomous operation, with some analysts speculating it could be China's third sixth-generation stealth fighter. The aircraft's lambda-wing shape and its similarities to other Chinese designs have fueled theories that it might be a crewed fighter or an AI-enabled drone designed for coordinated combat missions. As the US and other nations race to develop sixth-generation fighters, China's rapid progress indicates a strategic push toward stealth, long-range detection, and autonomous warfare. The development of such advanced aircraft underscores the shifting priorities in aerial warfare, emphasizing stealth and AI integration over close-in maneuverability, and reflects China's broader efforts to modernize its military capabilities amidst global competition. CNN reports that President Donald Trump has officially ruled out Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent as a candidate for the Federal Reserve chair, citing Bessent's preference to remain in his current role. Despite Trump's admiration for Bessent, the president revealed he is now considering other candidates, including former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh and White House economist Kevin Hassett, though he did not disclose their identities. The decision comes amidst a broader reshuffle at the Fed, with Governor Adriana Kugler resigning last Friday, creating an opening that Trump plans to fill shortly. Trump also hinted that his choice for Fed governor could potentially become the Fed chair when Jerome Powell's term ends next year, as Bessent continues to be involved in trade negotiations, notably traveling to Sweden to discuss tariff extensions with Chinese officials amid looming deadlines. Yahoo US highlights the political ambitions of Chris James, the president of the National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development, who has announced his bid for Congress. James, a Cherokee leader, is stepping into the political arena with a focus on advancing Native American interests. His campaign marks a significant move for indigenous representation, aiming to bring attention to issues affecting Native communities at the federal level. James's leadership at the National Center and his recent public speech at RES 2025 reflect his commitment to advocacy and economic development for Native Americans, positioning him as a notable contender in the upcoming electoral race. In economic news, Yahoo US also reports that the U.S. trade deficit has narrowed to $60.2 billion in June, signaling a slight improvement in the nation's trade balance. Cargo ships laden with containers are seen at the Oakland port, illustrating ongoing trade activity. The reduction in the deficit suggests a potential shift in trade dynamics, possibly influenced by recent tariffs and negotiations. This development occurs amidst ongoing discussions about extending tariffs between the U.S. and China, with the August 12 deadline approaching for either renewal or escalation. The narrowing deficit offers a cautiously optimistic view of the country's economic trajectory, though experts note that trade tensions and negotiations remain critical factors shaping future economic policies. The Associated Press reports that the Coast Guard has declared the 2023 Titan submersible disaster, which resulted in the deaths of 5 individuals en route to the Titanic wreck, as a preventable tragedy. The investigation revealed that OceanGate, the private company responsible for the submersible, had critically flawed safety procedures, with glaring disparities between their policies and actual practices. The report exposes a toxic workplace culture characterized by downplaying, falsifying safety information, and intimidating employees to silence concerns, all driven by the company's desire to protect its reputation and evade regulatory scrutiny. OceanGate's deliberate exploitation of regulatory confusion allowed the Titan to operate outside established deep-sea protocols for years, despite inadequate design, certification, maintenance, and inspection processes. The tragedy claimed the lives of OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, French explorer Paul-Henri Nargeolet, British adventurer Hamish Harding, and 2 members of a Pakistani family, Shahzada and Sulaiman Dawood. The investigation highlights the urgent need for stronger oversight and clearer regulations in the burgeoning private deep-sea exploration industry to prevent future disasters, as lawsuits and calls for tighter controls continue to mount. The South China Morning Post delves into the evolving dynamics of the Russia, India, and China, RIC, trilateral forum amid shifting geopolitical landscapes. Moscow views the revival of RIC as a strategic move to counter Western isolation following the Ukraine conflict, using the platform to bolster its Eurasian influence, demonstrate regional solidarity, and strengthen the BRICS alliance. Beijing, supportive yet pragmatic, seeks to leverage RIC to stabilize its continental borders with India, avoid multi-front economic pressures from the US-China trade war, and project its influence to the global south as a champion of multipolarity, all while managing complex relations with India, balancing cooperation with subtle coercion through economic tools. Meanwhile, India adopts a cautious approach, balancing its strategic autonomy amid pressures from the US, such as tariffs linked to Russian ties, while gradually reopening diplomatic channels with China, including resuming visas and joint investments. This delicate dance allows India to maintain strategic flexibility, resist coercion, and uphold its independent foreign policy. Overall, the revival of RIC symbolizes a pragmatic shift toward issue-specific dialogue amid a fragmented, multipolar world, offering a pathway to regional stability and reducing bilateral friction, even if the 3 powers do not move in perfect harmony. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.